purpose of the test. The yard test motorcycles. This is a practical test to determine the ability of motorcycle riders. The full test consists of a yard test, which includes a pre-trip inspection, a starting procedure and a skill test. The test is a measure of the motorcycle rider's ability in respect of the handling of a motorcycle, obedience to traffic rules and the use of the system of vehicle control. The test is not conducted on the road or in traffic, it is done in the yard at the driving license testing center. You are required to obey all traffic laws as if you were on the road. However, the testing officer will be examining how capable you are at controlling the motorcycle, obeying rules of the road and observing your surroundings. Immediate failures. Failing to wear a functioning safety helmet. Allowing your motorcycle to roll, backwards or forwards. Violating any rules of the road, road signs, or road markings. Using a motorcycle that does not have a license. Falling off of the motorcycle or allowing it to fall. Accumulating more than 50 penalty points during the yard test. Touching a boundary line. Performing a dangerous action. You get only one attempt for the following: turning left, moving off, and lane change to the right. You get 3 attempts for the following: speed control. You do not get these attempts if you perform any action that disqualifies you immediately. Let's start with the test: speed management and control. Starting at point A. You must ride towards cross point D at 20 km per hour without touching any boundary lines. Upon reaching point C, the rider should slow down evenly without skidding and should stop with the front wheel on cross point D. If you go too slowly, you have 2 more attempts. Observe 360 degrees, rear view mirrors and blind spot if applicable. Perform move-off procedure. Accelerate and change to a higher gear. Increase speed to 20 km per hour without touching any boundary lines. Brake at line C. Select a lower gear if necessary. Stop with the front wheel on cross point D of a calibrated cross. Maintain balance and do not move motorcycle until stopping point has been determined. Lane changing to the right. You need to move off from point A, ride towards point D and perform a safe lane change to the right without touching the line OP, and then return to the examiner without touching any boundary lines, stalling or allowing the motorcycle to roll. Select first gear. Obtain clutch control. Check mirrors and blind spots. Follow move-off procedure and proceed towards point D. Change to second gear. Check mirrors and right blind spot. Signal intention right. Check the right blind spot again. Steer into a lane on the right without crossing boundary line OP. Cancel the signal, moving off and turning left. Here you need to move off from point R towards point U, making a left turn at point W and stopping at point N. Move off again in the direction of point V, turning at point X, and returning to point A without touching any boundary lines, stalling, losing balance or allowing the motorcycle to roll. Go through move-off procedure. Change to second gear. Check mirrors and left blind spot. Signal intention, left. Check mirrors and left blind spot again. Steer the motorcycle left at point W. Cancel the indicator. Signal intention to stop. Stop at point N. Select first gear. Obtain clutch control. Check the mirrors and both blind spots. Move off towards point V. Check mirrors and left blind spot. Signal intention, left. Turn left at point X. Ride back to point A. Stop, incline start. You must start your vehicle on an incline and move off smoothly without rolling backwards, stalling, jerking or lifting the front wheel. You only get 1 attempt. Stop where indicated in the appropriate gear without allowing the motorcycle to move backwards. Remain stationary by applying the brake. Check mirrors and blind spot. Signal intention. Obtain clutch control. Observe 360 degrees, rear view mirrors and blind spot if applicable. Move off without rolling back or lifting the wheel. Place your feet on the footrests. Accelerate. Cancel the signal. Turning speed judgment. You need stop at point T and move off and proceed as fast as you can through the painted curve to the left without touching any boundaries. You need to stop at point F, and then turn the motorcycle around and repeat the maneuver in the opposite direction. If you ride too slowly, you have 2 more attempts. Observe 360 degrees, rear view mirrors and blind spot if applicable. Move off. Accelerate and ride as fast as possible through the curve. Do not touch the curved boundary lines. Stop at the second starting point, F, without touching the outer boundary line. Turn the motorcycle around and repeat the maneuver in the opposite direction. Emergency stopping. You need to move off from point A. You may not touch any boundary lines. Ride towards the signal lights at around 25 km/h. Watch for the lights that will come on in any order after you pass point B. If the middle, red, light comes on, stop the motorcycle as quickly as possible without any part of the motorcycle protruding beyond the 45th calibration mark and without touching lines O to P, M to N or the outer boundary lines. You have 2 additional attempts if you ride too slowly. Observe 360 degrees, rear view mirrors and blind spot if applicable. Move off. Accelerate to 25 km/h and change to a higher gear, if applicable. Do not touch the boundary lines. Disengage clutch, if applicable. Apply both brakes simultaneously when the red light comes on. Bring the motorcycle to a controlled stop in the shortest possible distance. Maintain balance and do not move the motorcycle until the measurement has been taken. Emergency swerve. You have 2 additional attempts if you do the emergency swerve too slowly. Observe 360 degrees, rear view mirrors and blind spot if applicable. Move off. Accelerate and change gear if necessary. Accelerate to 25 km/h. Do not touch any boundary lines. Disengage clutch, if applicable. When a amber light comes on, swerve in the direction of the light to cross line KL as far as possible from the cross point D. Straighten up so that lines MN or OP are not touched. Stop without touching the outer boundary lines, when moving off procedure. Make sure not to stall or roll. Maintain its balance. Apply the front brake. Observe 360 degrees, rear view mirrors and blind spot if applicable. Signal intention, if applicable. Ensure that there is a clear space beyond the intersection before entering. Ensure that the intersection is clear before entering. Maintain clear space behind vehicle ahead before moving off, approximately 4 to 5 meters. Select gear, if applicable. Obtain clutch control. Observe 360 degrees, rear view mirrors and blind spot if applicable. Move off smoothly without lifting the front wheel. Maintain balance and place both feet on the front foot pegs as soon as the motorcycle starts moving. Accelerate as necessary. Cancel the signal, if applicable.